Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Cam, man, the hell with rap. I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome, ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vickers. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah, I don't like niggas. What's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight, nigga.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. The app is the easiest way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in over 30 states, including Georgia, Missouri, and Texas, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog app. Use code Mase, CAM, or STAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus funds with your first deposit. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts Mase and Cam, and today we are joined with our analyst Maurice Claret.
Cam, Mo, what's good, man? How you guys doing?
All is well. All is well. Life is well.
Yeah.
What's going on, Cam?
I'm good, man. Back on my shit, you see.
Oh my goodness, man.
Oh.
Cam,
black ears on.
actually, Cam, they're not happy with you wearing this New York stuff. You wear it after they win, and I want you to know you might be jinxing the next game. So we're gonna keep this clip, Nick. Keep this clip right here, because if they lose the next game, it's because Cam chose to wear the New York Knicks stuff. I'm not wearing it, so you can't blame me, Stat. They say the people in New York is saying it's me, but look at Cam. I don't believe this. It's actually a fire jacket, though, Cam.
I appreciate it. But if I don't know if you learned the stat or anybody else who watches, I could care less what people think. That's like the last thing in the world that I'm worried about. I'm from New York. I'm not from gentrified New York. I didn't hang out on Adam Clayton Powell or Frederick Douglass Boulevard. It was called 7th Avenue and 8th Avenue. I actually was on Lenox Avenue when it wasn't even Malcolm X Boulevard. It was just Lenox Avenue, and the street signs was yellow, and I lived across the street from Woolworth. Niggas don't even know what Woolworth is.
I stole my first coat from Woolworth.
That's what I'm saying.
That's old school.
Yeah, so I don't care what nobody says. If you don't know what Woolworth is, then I can't really talk to you. I lived across the street from Woolworth, man.
Cam, to your credit, you know a Harlem guy cannot give you credit without throwing some salt in there. You know that.
It gotta be like that. It's no other way.
Yeah.
It's no other way.
But
Nigga,
you might be the only hot Harlem artist that was born in Harlem Hospital.
No, I wasn't born in Harlem Hospital. That's the old shit. That's what niggas try to get me at. They try to be like, yo, my mother was out eating, and so I was born like in Tribeca, so they be trying to call me Tribeca Cam.
Cam is from the village, yo.
Yeah, that's what they be saying. Yeah, Soho Cam, Tribeca Cam. I heard it all. You know, Sin loved that.
Gotta break this down.
Mo, the village is like it's crazy. You know New York, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cam, you from the village?
I'm not.
I told you,
you're never gonna live this down. Just when I thought I knew everything about this guy. Yo, you from the village, Cam? With all those tough raps.
That's crazy, man. Nigga was born in the village. I went home to Harlem after 3 days. They said, "Still, you're not from Harlem." That's what nigga told me.
You spent your first 3 days alive in the village, Cam.
You know what's crazy is that me and my mom had an argument about that.
Yeah.
On Instagram, I put out text messages up a few years ago. I say, "Yo, I'm from Harlem." She's like, "You're not from Harlem," because she from Atlantic City. I'm like, "I'm closer to Harlem than you are. You from Atlantic City?" She said, "Cam, you could sit here and go around the board. You wasn't born in Harlem." I said,
Mm.
Mom, where'd you go home to after you left the hospital? She said, Ken, okay, if you want to feel better, you migrated to Harlem. I said, all
Yeah.
right, forget it. I can't win with nobody.
Yeah.
So,
Mama
so
love those best. Mama love
I
those best.
wasn't born in Harlem Hospital, mate. Don't let Sin here because Sin can't stop bragging
Nick,
about how he was born in Harlem Hospital.
Nick, keep this clip. I need this. I need this.
I never denied this. I never said that this.
Yeah,
I just
Cam.
told the truth. I
I
don't
thought I
deny it.
knew everything. I thought I knew everything.
Well, let me ask you a question. I know you was born in Jacksonville. What hospital was you born in?
Duval County Hospital.
Nah, I think you making that. I got to see the birth. I don't even know the name, but yeah, Murder. I guess I'm from the
Yeah.
village. If you want to say that, I guess so. Yeah, I can't deny where I was born. I was born downtown.
Oh man.
Mase, it looks like we're waiting for a couple forms from you because now we need the birth hospital and we need the diploma still because according to you, it was two
Yeah,
different things. I haven't seen the picture from the fireplace, so we waiting on that too.
yeah, me too. Word up, stat.
Right. Okay. So let's get into this game. Maybe Cam wearing the Knicks gear might be good luck because things are now getting spicy as we see the series is continuing after the Knicks beat the Pacers 111-94. Maurice, what were your thoughts on the game and what do you feel like was the difference maker in this game compared to the others for the Knicks?
I'm gonna say it like I was saying it to the people who I was watching the game with. I'm a believer that the Knicks have a legitimate chance to win this series, and I don't say this just because we have New Yorkers on the camera screen. I say this because I really believe that if the New Yorkers do, or if the New York Knicks do what it was that they were doing last night, that they have a chance. And you don't have to worry about Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson going to do what he's going to do. We've been watching that for a number of years. He's going to get off pause and he's going to get you 30, 40 points as needed. He's going to start the game fast. He's going to be the energy for the New York Knicks. Cat being able to play that Robin role, being able to play the supporter, having like a physical dominance, pause and just being a physical presence and being an assistant and not trying to be the guy. I think that that's his rightful role in what they do. And I think it establishes that hard defense. I think that we've seen that basically cause Halliburton to struggle. And the other part of that is basically causing turnovers through defense, but also neutralizing Tyler Halliburton. I think it's that simple. I think Siakam, I think that's however you say his name, Pascal Siakam, or I don't know how you say his last name. I think he's a great guy, but he's not the guy to energize, bring swag to the Pacers, bring pace to the Pacers. I think it's all driven through Halliburton. And I think when they stopped him last night or neutralized him last night, I think you have to do the same thing on the road when they go back into Indiana. And I think that's the formula. And to me, it was like an easy win. It didn't look like it was too hard, but it was more pause. It was more or less what they need to do. And I think when they go back and Thibodeau watch the film or the assistants watch the film, I think they say, man, if we do these four things, we have the best chance of winning. And then we can, go with it and bring this thing back home to New York and potentially go to the finals.
They say I have a grasp on the obvious. I credit all the entire win to the Kobe number sixes. They will win the Kobe sixes in orange. That may be the difference in this game. When you wait, I remember back in the days I used to play and wear the Jordans and all that. I remember Killer gave me a pair of Jordans. I had my best games in the Jordans. Every time I scored 30, I think I had the Jordans on. So I credit it all to the sneakers. When you look good, you play good. And this New York team, like Mo said, everything he said was pretty much correct. Other than they won this game stat, but I'm not ready to say that they're gonna win this series, Mo. I think that's like putting 50 on 10. Like even Nick said it. I'm gonna blow Nick up. Pause. Nick said they're gonna win game for 5. They're gonna win game 6 and get blown out in game 7 by 30. I think they get blown out the next game, or it's gonna be a close game. I definitely think they lose in 6. The Knicks is out of here in 6. Y'all can say what y'all want. Cam got the gear on, and Cam is gonna actually jinx the Knicks. I want to keep this take because The next time we'll be talking about the Knicks, we'll be playing Though We Go to the End of the Road by Boys the Men. And the Knicks will be throwing bombs in the streets, and niggas will be walking with their shirt off and, just sad drinking beer. This is what it's going to boil down to. We've seen this movie before, Ken. We've been watching this movie for at least 30, 40 years, man, since they was little. I remember they had Trent Tucker, they had Kenny Walker, they had Rod Strickland, they had Robert Ory, and they were called the Bomb Squad. They was hitting threes everywhere.
Forgot about the Bomb Squad. The Bomb Squad T-shirt.
Yeah, niggas got really hyped. They start wearing pilot hats. Niggas got aviator glasses. They were going so crazy, and Rick Pitino was the coach then, and he turned Mark Jackson into a superstar. We get all excited, and what happens? Nothing. It always comes to nothing. And I think some of the people they got sitting courtside is going to be a part of the problem, because there's nothing worse than trying to win with people who wasn't there with you from day one. That's always going to jinx you because you have nothing to pull from because everybody's there is fake. Not everybody, but, mainly all of the people there. But not everybody. Some people normally go to Knick games. But all of the people showing up like, yeah, it's Knick time. Most of y'all got put out of the Knicks uniform. So how y'all showing up like your Knicks? That's a good take, I must say. Most of the people coming in there are people who got escorted out of the building. And now you're there like this is your team. It's crazy, Cam. I don't know what's wilder, them or you in a Knick jacket is crazy. This is crazy.
I don't know, bro. I'm from New York. I don't know why you have a problem me wearing New York paraphernalia. It's funny how Nick he wants to save this take, but not when Golden State was his team or the Lakers or everybody else that he named. The Nuggets, Joker, Title Towns on the move from Kansas City. You don't want to save none of these takes, but he wants to save this take today. Save it. Because if anybody jinxing it, you jinxing Indiana by saying that they not going to win. I'm just wearing a jacket. That's it, man. But to the actual game, you're not going to win with all the stars. None of the starters except for Pascal Siakam had double digits. It's just not going to happen. This game was really much over from the beginning. When Indiana was down 20, they made a comeback in the third quarter, cut to 10. It ballooned back up to 20. Nobody looked like they could stop Cat. Cat left. Jalen Brunson came out hot, but Cat looked like he was invincible. Nobody could stay in front of him. He's going to the basket, looking like Akeem in 1995, doing all type of. He was looking amazing, pause, to be totally honest with you. And when I was watching this game, the first thing that came to my mind, I'm like, the NBA wants some of their money back. Yeah. That last series got cut short. Niggas win last night and ain't no basketball for a week. They need a couple dollars back. So this might go to a game 7, man. I kind of agree with Mase. This shouldn't go to, just should end at 6. If I'm Indiana, the sense of urgency for the next game would be a game 7 mentality if I'm Indiana. I would not be comfortable if I'm a Pacer fan or part of the Pacer organization going back to New York for a game 7. Because to be honest with you, this is where you may see the dumbest shit in America ever happen. Somebody run on the court. Yeah. Somebody tackle somebody. This is the type of shit that may happen in the game 7.
Parachute have.
Yeah, all that. Niggas start putting a red beam on niggas from upset. I would not advise going to the Garden for game 7. Security will not be able to stop every single person because listen, man, we done seen wild shit happen in sporting events. Like Mase just said, we done seen a couple times a parachute come in the ring. I done seen several people run across a baseball field. I'm telling you, right, football field too. I'm telling you right now, if this gets back to a game 7, that fans will intervene if need be to try and get the Knicks to the championship. So I agree with Mase to an extent, but it's really up to Indiana to have that mentality. Last night, that mentality was not. We need to close this series out now and get the same rest that OKC is getting. That mentality is they had last night was more like, oh, we got a game to give them. It's all good. We give them one more game. Don't play those games, bro. If I'm them, I would not play those games. So it is what it is, man. But I didn't think much of the game last night. I know that the Knicks need to win to keep this thing going. But this is a really, really big game for both people because I think if the Knicks win 6, they could win 7.
Good take. And then real quick, Cam, I'm sure you guys have seen it by now. They've been using like Jalen Brunson on your like the pink fur thing. Have you seen that? Because that has been everywhere, like Sports Center, ESPN. Like, how do you feel about that? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I was, this is more like to Mace's point, I'm New York. When somebody do something iconic, they throw their face on something iconic that I've done. When it comes to New York, that's what comes to mind. So yeah, I did see Jalen Brunson in the pink with the pink phone and all that. As a matter of fact, that somebody sent to me right after they won tonight. ESPN posted that on their page immediately after the game, and Sports Center, to be honest with you. But I'm glad that they recognize that when it comes to New York, this is who they need to mirror if they want greatness. So flattered.
Yeah.
That's great.
I love it. Hey, save this take, Nick. I love it. I'm really excited about that. All I care about is that they don't put Patrick Ewing on my block and put 33rd Street as Patrick. As long as they doesn't do that, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them putting Cam's, the pink fur. As long as they don't put Patrick Ewing on 33rd Street. We're good.
What's the matter with Patrick Ewing on 33rd Street?
He can't represent my block. He can't do that. That would be like putting Carl Anthony Towns on Rich Porter block. You just can't do that. 32nd.
Who would be a better representative of a New York Knick who would represent your block?
So just real quick, Mo, not to cut you off, just so you guys, and not just you, the audience can have context of what Mase is talking about, is that the Knicks took the jersey numbers of the players and put on the street. So like Jalen Brunson is number 11. They named 11th Street Jalen Brunson Avenue. Josh Hart is number 8. They named number 8th Street Josh Allen Place. And like Mikal Bridges, number 25, 25th Street Mikal Bridges Parkway, some dumb shit. So that's why Mase is saying that 33rd Street is his block, and they can't even put Patrick Ewing on 33rd Street, and he might be one of the best Knicks ever. So I'm just giving some context to what he was saying.
They can't put him on my block, and they can't put Carl Anthony Towns on 132nd. They better not do it. And I'm just saying it so they can do it, because I know they will. This is how crazy the Knicks fan. By the time I say this, it will probably be within 2 hours. Somebody will be putting it up there. Who is Mase to say this? We change the block we want to change.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's exactly how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Okay, well, next game is Saturday. Underdog has Cat at 22.5 points. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
22?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going higher. I'm definitely going higher.
So Clay, this is what I'm talking about. It's a catchy number because Cat has no consistency within the playoffs to me. He may have 2 good games and 2 bad games. He have a good game, then have a bad off game. So he's just coming off a good game. Is he gonna have another good game back to back? I don't know. I'm gonna go higher though, because I tell you one thing: they ain't got a chance in the world if he don't get 22.
Okay. Okay. Jalen Brunson's at 2.5 3-pointers made. Do you have him higher or lower, Cam?
I'm going higher. He was on fire last night. And I think he's going to carry that momentum into the next game. We know Jalen Brunson's consistent. We know he does his thing, but his threes last night, I'm not sure off the top of my head he made, but he caught heat in the first quarter and the third quarter. So I'm going to go definitely higher, and we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah, I'm definitely going higher for Jalen Brunson. Like you said, he's already wearing the iconic pink, so we look at that to continue.
Okay. And Halliburton's at 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
You know, it's my team. What else can I say? I gotta go higher. I gotta go higher. I think this is a breakout game for Halliburton. He looks at this. He's upset with the way things are. He's back in Indiana. Pop's gonna be there. This is a dream come true to go to the championship, and he's representing the underdogs.
Excuse me.
For all of us here at Underdog, he's representing the underdogs. So what better way to go than to have the guy that they said was, overrated, become the MVP, or at least have potential to win the MVP for the Eastern Conference Finals. They probably give it to Siakam, but I'm going higher.
And what was the number set?
Yeah, 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He's another nigga. And everybody talk about he should be a superstar. He should be a superstar. And the shit that he's doing, he should be a superstar. But you can't take nights off like he took last night. You go from 30 points, 15 assists, and 12 rebounds to 8 points. Yo, my nigga, this is the shit niggas talking about. You don't even get double-digit points. And you want to be, I'm not saying because he never asked to be a superstar, but these are the conversations going on the last week and a half. Is he a superstar? Is he not a superstar? He's doing shit that's amazing, but doesn't make him a superstar. The shit he's doing is legendary, but is he a legend? Those are the questions right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's difference between doing legendary shit and being a legend. Right now he's doing legendary shit. Is he on the way to being legend? I don't know after a game like last night. You heard somebody like Anthony Edwards. You're sitting here bashing him for having 19 points. And I know we're not comparing him to Anthony Edwards, but we sit there and bash Anthony Edwards for having 17, 19. Oh, he can't do that, can't do this. Not only that, he's having 17, 19 points. Anthony Edwards is getting triple teamed. Every time he gets the ball, it is a double team minimal. He might have 4 players on him from time to time. And he still gets 17, 19 points. Halliburton, like last night, got me mad. And the reason, not mad, but it's like, bro, we're trying to put you on a certain status. I'm talking about the public. And then you fumble the status. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm going to have to go lower because I think other people will step up. But I don't be getting it, man. I don't get it.
Why can't niggas be consistent, right?
Yeah, man.
To separate people.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a good conversation, but make sure y'all download the Underdog app and you guys can make your picks too. So regarding that, who do you feel like always maintains that consistency in the playoffs so far from what we've seen? Does anybody like specifically come to mind that you're like, he's always going to be showing that consistency on top?
Yeah, Jalen Brunson will be one. Jalen Brunson, SGA. SGA has been consistent through the whole thing. Joker, people like that are consistent. And that's why they're the real superstars. That's what we're talking about. And that's what Cam was mentioning. They don't take nights off. There's no excuses. It's a title town mentality, It's not blaming nobody else. Nobody else is responsible for you.
My answer would be, without even a question, 100% the Joker. The Joker don't play all year round and then don't play in the playoffs. He don't play no games, no pun intended. That nigga comes to work and he goes home. This is a nigga that loves being in his country, fucking with the horses' paws. He really, like, Joker looks aggravated after every game. Like, I just want to get back to my country. And that's just my opinion. So when he's there, he's like, I didn't miss 8 months of being home with my family and 9 months being home with my family to lose. And you can see that attitude every time he's on the court. They asked Joker at the exit meeting, do you think that they asked Jamal Murray, do you think you can win with this same team you have now? Jamal Murray said, yeah, man, we just got make a couple changes, get things together, and we'll be all right. They asked Joker the same question. Do you think that you guys could win with the same team? Joker said, no, we didn't win, right? So what kind of question is that? And he walked off. That's his attitude. He comes to work. He has a time to play. He's not going to sugarcoat it and act like things hunky-dory when they not. I'm going with the Joker for the most consistency in the playoffs.
Okay, and then one more question regarding these players before we go to break. What do y'all feel like Halliburton needs to gain that real superstar status? Because, Mase, that's the term that you just used. And, of course, Titletown, we got to kind of discuss that. When are we going to kind of give Tyrese Halliburton that edge, or you just feel like he has a long way to go?
Yeah, we actually never give anything in Titletown. Everything is earned. It's not. That's why you win one. It's not for me to give you the second one. You got to win the second one just like you won the first one. It's about imposing your will. Pause. Is definitely about not taking no days off. Like Cam was saying, every day you put the uniform on, you perform. This is why kids can fly in. AAU teams can bring their whole team to the game and expect you to be the person they heard that you are. When he was talking about being legendary, I mean, I could show up on any night and I'm going to get a memorable performance from you on the basketball court. This is what it takes. So when you talk about Halliburton, that's what these guys got to start understanding, especially him. You're in this position to make a mark. The people that have played in that uniform, they have always imposed their will on the New York Knicks. They always let the Knicks down. They always embarrass them on their home court. So he was supposed to come in there yesterday in the Madison Square Garden and say, I'm going to do them dirtier paws than Reggie Miller did them. That's what his mindset was supposed to be, because I'm the new legend in Indiana. And like when he did that gesture, the choking gesture, pause, that was what he was supposed to do yesterday. You know, like I really meant what I said before and doubled down on it, you know. And that's what it takes to be a real superstar night. Not saying you didn't play well and all of that. No, it's leaving no excuses on the floor. It's like Roy Jones and Tarver. When he showed up, he said, "It's gonna be any excuses tonight, Roy?" And then deliver. And then deliver the one of the biggest upsets I think I ever seen in boxing. But from the beginning, he was talking the talk and he carried out what he was talking. That's what we need more of for the people playing in the NBA, especially Halliburton.
Yeah, Mo, you want to chime in?
Yeah, no, just I say it all the time. The thing that separates anybody, I don't care if it's sports, business, anything, is mentality. And, you know, if you're going to be a high performer, you know, and I think that's a great way of saying it, you know, people having legendary moments and then people being legends, it's the consistency around the ruthless mentality of just like killing people while you have a chance and are showing a level of frustration. I think you did a good job explaining that about the Joker. You know, when he loses, you can visibly see that I've put enough work in and I expected to win, and I have a no excuse, ruthless, ultimate professional mentality. But that is what separates like the super good guys from the superstars. And that's that killer mentality that they talk about Kobe has and that they talk about Michael Jordan has. But it's just like suffocating people or seizing the moment, you know, or having a sense of urgency when victory is close. And but that comes like lifestyle, like everything. I think with all these guys, it catches up to you. Everybody knows, you know, whether they had extracurricular activities or they should have been training. Everybody knows if they did enough conditioning. I remember I seen like a promo video with Siakam where he was talking to guys like, hey man, remember this feeling from last year and do more than what you did last year to, you know, put yourself in a position to go further. And it's these moments where guys are like, even Mase said, like you talk about these guys on the sideline who may have not been at every game. And it's that energy you get from the fans and that extra work in the stadiums you run and the conditions you're doing. But that's the mentality that you pull from to say, man, I'm about to seize this moment because this is my opportunity. So I just think it's all mentality. And I think that the more work that you put in prior to competing, it makes it harder for you to give up, or it allows you to compete a little bit further. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, those are some great takes, both of you guys. To me, it's the consistency.
Yeah.
And that's what Halliburton to me. Now, and don't get me wrong, he has moments in every series so far where he did legendary shit. Every series he hit a buzzer beater or a game winner, not necessarily a buzzer beater every game, but he had a go ahead bucket every game, one of the games in every level of the playoffs, first, second, and third round. But that doesn't make you a legend. Mace, you brought up a great example of that when you brought up Antonio Tarver and Roy Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what what Antonio Tarver did was legendary, but he's not a legend. And that's what the point is. Tyrese Halliburton is doing some legendary shit, but you're not being consistent enough to become a legend. That's what it's about. So to me, both you guys' take was absolutely spot on. Only thing I can add on is when you can't come out and have 30, 15, 12, and then in the closeout the series game have 8.
Yeah, make it look like what you did was a fluke. Like that was a lucky night. And that's I see exactly what you're saying now, Killer. A legendary night could just be a lucky night.
Yeah, exactly.
Every day they come to see you, they get somewhere in there, like maybe not 32, but now it's 28, 15,
Yeah,
and 10.
right.
Like
Exactly.
Joker is consistent.
Right.
That number, you're
Right.
gonna get that number every time. And
Right.
I think somebody that's starting to look legendary is Cat Williams. I mean not Cat Williams.
Cat.
Um Carl Anthony
Anthony Towns.
Towns. Just shout out to Cat Williams.
There's just a couple cats.
Yeah, a couple cats. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but I think this is a great conversation. You all made great points, and as he remains inconsistent, the Knicks are just going to keep creeping in, and this next game could be theirs. Even though, Mase, you did say you could see it being a blowout, we just don't know which way it's going to go. Who knows? Cam could be the good luck charm for this game. He come out with the Knicks gear. They wearing the pink fur. You never really know how it's going to go. So
Yeah, we're going to know next game. We're going to know next game. It ain't that far, you know.
right.
And on the record, Cam is wearing New York Knicks after they won. He's not wearing it before he was off of the Knicks train. Now he's back on the 3 train, going back uptown. But we will see the next game.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You're right. I'm not even hiding it. I'm not hiding it. I'm going to put it on when they win. I'm not hiding it at all. I'm not even trying to make it like stealth. I'm put it on when they win. Look, man, if we want to get down to the nitty gritty with everybody here, I've done business with the Knicks. The Knicks have official NBA diplomat jerseys. Official NBA Mitchell and Ness with the Knicks. I'm talking about the official joint sold in the NBA store. They sold out in 10 minutes, actually. 2,000 jerseys. We had to make more. I've done official business. Me, James Dolan, Adam Silver. I worked with the Knicks before. They didn't give me, Mace gets a lot of honorary things. You get an honorary jersey, an honorary degree. I ain't got no honorary, man. It's all off the mud and out the mud and off the muscle, man. So I still got a couple Knicks jerseys left because they don't make them no more. I was saving about 10 of them joints if somebody want to buy them off me, but I don't think I'm gonna sell them for like another 10 years.
Yeah, the lady up at the New York Knicks organization said they was gonna give me a 10-day contract, and niggas got so mad that they that they try to pull my Wikipedia down because somebody wrote in it. I think it was, I remember Votto put it up. It said Mase played for the New York Knicks for a 10-day contract, and people got mad at me because the lady held my jersey up in front of the press conference. And niggas got mad. So I understand that. This is a great moment for New York fans. And I wish they do win the next game. If they win the next game, it puts all the pressure on the game 7.
See,
So
that's the thing that people are confusing. They acting like we want the Knicks to lose.
yeah.
We niggas don't want New York to lose.
Yeah.
We just been dealing with the disappointment. I think people get blurred lines when we talking, but because New York niggas don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear logic. Sin actually told me a couple times when I'm telling him shit. He said, "I don't want to make sense right now." Then what are we talking
You
about?
want to be delusional.
The nigga told me I don't want to make sense. Literally, it's verbatim. I don't want to make sense right now. Okay, then I can't have the convo with you if you're not here to make sense.
I'm not even mad at that because
What do you think, Stat? Who are you going with, Stat? The Knicks or Indiana?
I mean the Knicks. The Pacers
Knicks
are
is-
cool. Like if I want to see in the finals, I'd rather see the Knicks and OKC, respectfully, than the Pacers. That's just what I want to see, and I think most people want to see that. We're gonna be honest. Like I done came up here in my jersey 1.2. At this point, it's all or nothing. So hey, that's what I want to see.
You know if the Knicks win and they play OKC, it will be hard to tell who's who fans because they got the same colors. So that would be really interesting. The whole arena will be blue and orange everywhere they go.
The whole thing about it is that, to agree with you, I think that's the matchup that anybody would love to see New York. And you got to think about this. OKC against the Knicks. It's not, look, as much as I love all the teams, I'm talking about we got to go down to Orlando, to Portland, every NBA team. It's nothing like playing in Madison Square Garden. It's nothing like it. And even if I'm Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and I'm OKC, I want to play in the Garden. If I'm OKC, I'm like, get the Pacers up out of here because then I can dance, baby. It's no bigger dance floor than Madison Square Garden and a championship series in the Garden. That's where I would want to be because you're not going to get a bigger spotlight than that. Not saying that the championship won't be watched if the Pacers win. Not saying niggas ain't going to tune in. That's just not, I'm not saying it's going to happen. But if the Knicks win, it's a different animal. And a person like me, as much as I used to like playing home games, I used to like playing away games more than home games because it's nothing to me as a competitor and a former athlete than going in somebody else's building and making everybody shut up. I love that. I love when I would lay a nigga pause or I would shoot a jump. Whatever it was, I would just look at their crowd. They'd be like, damn, this nigga here, boy. I like that. So if I'm Oklahoma City, I would love to play in the Garden and everybody gets their name in the Garden, whether you're Steph Curry with 55 points, whether you're Michael Jordan with 55 points, whether you're Kobe with 60 points, whether you're LeBron James with 55 points. You get your name in the Garden.
And don't forget Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller, absolutely.
Reggie Miller in the Garden is a legend.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, and that's that. So we'll stay tuned to see who wins this next game. With that being said, we're going to go to break. When we return, we're going to get into some sports debates. Don't go anywhere.
On Underdog, you can play your way to bigger boosts each round of the playoffs with the Extender. Start a series by using your Game 1 boost and continue boosting each subsequent game. The longer the series, the bigger the boosts. Underdog, the best place to pick playoff basketball.
Welcome back. So, Cam, you kind of spoke on it a little bit earlier regarding Anthony Edwards, how people were kind of, I would say, disrespecting him when he's being double, triple teamed. So just in general, we see in the playoffs, people get real crazy on social media and actually very disrespectful. They've been putting him on like baby memes with like SGA being the father. And we know that they do this to everybody, but it's been getting a little crazy. And I'm sure at some point athletes want to say something. So Maurice, I'm going to let you go first. Do you think athletes should be able to clap back on social media, or do you think that they should remain quiet? How should they go about that?
Oh, that's a good question. And now it's crazy that you can actually defend yourself or even talk for yourself in this day and age. But me, if I was playing, I would just choose the role of ignoring it. You know, and the reason I say it is just because my mind, my energy, my focus, all of my attention would be on putting my energy into things that are going to pay me or help me to develop my game. And I think once you get into that, the world of social media, and you kind of get into, people seeing what it is you respond to me, that opens you up for either weaknesses or people understanding what they can probe or say to you to basically make you react to something. And so I actually think that stuff ends up being used against you on the road, or people can see how they can get up under your skin and they can become a competitive disadvantage. But if you never really respond to anybody, nobody ever knows how you feel, and you can just kind of keep on chuckling and going on about your way. But it goes to say, like, the more somebody tries to probe you, the more you ignore them, they'll eventually move on to somebody else, and things won't, they won't have anybody to engage with. So, and I'm speaking like this at 41. So, at 20, I don't know how old Ant-Man is, 24, 25. I don't know how old he is. I don't know if he feels he has to defend himself. I don't know if he has the emotional maturity to deal with that. I know Kevin Durant struggles with that, and he feels like he has to clap back, and that's no offense to him. We all choose to do what we do, but I just wouldn't respond to it. That's just my personal opinion.
He's 23, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Mo said, because whenever you start responding to people, another thing that happens is that people begin to just come from everywhere and join in. Not to mention just on the road, just people understand now I could become as famous as you are without doing any of the sprints, any of the road work, any of the tour days, any of the 6 a.m. workouts, by just saying something really crazy to you to get a response from you. And now everywhere that they put your name, they'll put my name. This is one of the biggest trolling tricks of all time. People, and you watch people do this, they become famous by who they're arguing with. Not that they ever been on that level, not that they've ever made that much money or been at that level of success. They just said something to the right person at the right time, and they gave them the respond they needed to start trending or to go viral. And it's just crazy. Sometimes I think you shouldn't speak, but then I think there are times when you have to speak. You have to speak. I remember I was one of those people. People say stuff, I just wouldn't say something. But if you don't, I've learned, if you don't say something, then people think that what they said is true. So you sometimes you have to speak up. So I'm a believer of both ideologies. You just got to know when to go with each one.
Yeah, I think that's great points both of you guys made. I think it's about who it is and if it's not affecting what you got going on as an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to, you think about it to where I love watching Kevin Durant's tweets. I think they're hilarious, to be totally honest with you. Because if he's still going to go out and give me 27 points a night, 28 points a night, cool. Now, are they winning? No, they're not winning, so it doesn't look good. But obviously, it's not affecting him. You are not seeing a decline necessarily in his game for it. Some people, and Mase made some great points too, some people just do that to get your attention. And he's 100% correct. But sometimes you got to say something. You got to. Let's think about this, and I'll leave it here for me. We just watched Stephen A. Smith go off on LeBron James, and LeBron James finally said something. That Stephen A. said something, then LeBron James put up a meme or a video of Stephen A. boxing on his Instagram. I thought that was clever. Did LeBron have to do that? No, but that's years of him ignoring Stephen A. Smith. So it finally came to a head pause when he like, yo, all right, I'm going to go on Pat McAfee and diss this nigga, which he did. And then Stephen A. say something. Then you put up the meme because Stephen A. said, if LeBron would have swung on me, I would have swung back. And he said, I know I would have got my ass kicked, but I'm not going to let a nigga do what Will Smith did to Chris Rock. This is what Stephen A. Smith said. Then LeBron James put up a picture of Stephen A. boxing. I don't know if y'all ever seen that video, but it didn't look good. So now LeBron probably feels vindicated because he won that little back and forth media match over all the years Stephen A. been having an opinion about him. So I'm agreeing with Mase, so to speak. Sometimes you got to say something. Sometimes it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I agree with both points. I think also kind of to you guys' point, it does just depend on the person because like random trolls, okay, cool, I get it. But if it's another direct person, and especially if they're constantly saying things, I don't see a problem with it because even, yes, he brought up the LeBron Stephen A conversation, even down to KD when Skip Bayless was talking about KD's wash. KD was like, fuck it, I guess we're both washed. I thought that was hilarious because
Hilarious.
It's like, you know what? Yeah, like keep talking because I'm gonna say something to you too. And at that point, Skip Bayless had nothing else he could say, and you leave it at that.
Yeah, I like that. That was clever.
KD, that was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was good.
What I'm saying, and we're all making great points. You, Cam, Mo, as well as Stat, but like you can't start going back to back. Pause, because that's what happened to LeBron. He says something to Stephen A. and then Kevin Gates says something. And now it's like, does this now become the ending of LeBron's legacy that he's arguing on the internet? And he had to choose that this is not what I'm going to continue.
Yep. Okay, so moving along, want to kind of talk about super teams. So we see there's been 7 different champions in 7 seasons. And you guys' opinion, Maurice first, do you think that super teams kill competition or do you think that they make the league better?
I look at it just like it's just the nature of the beast. And, you know, I don't know who started it. You can go and say, you know, the Celtics started it, and you can say, you know, other teams end up developing into super teams. And I know people try to say that the Bulls are a super team now. And I don't know how you categorize the stuff. But it's just the nature of the beast that if you want to win a championship, you're going to have some sort of version of a super team to have the pieces to execute whatever coaches are doing. And so I just think it's the nature of the beast. I think it actually makes things entertaining. But that's just it. You know, everybody isn't going to be good. It sounds noble to think that you can have all the talent spread out and you can have all of the assets of the league distributed evenly. But at the end of the day, man, the super teams make it fun. It's fun to watch the games. I enjoy, you know, having 2 or 3 superstars to watch per team. So I just think it's the nature of the beast and just where the game has developed into. And who started, I don't know.
Yeah, like when you think of the Knicks, right? They got Jalen Brunson, superstar. Are we ready to say Cat is a superstar killer? Are you ready to say that?
I wouldn't.
Okay, but this
I wouldn't say. I'm saying I wouldn't even say Jalen Brunson. I say he's right there being the superstar. And I'm not disagreeing with you because he's done everything to be a superstar. But to me, and I don't mean to interrupt your take, we got very, very few superstars who didn't win.
Yeah.
We could sit there and say Charles Barkley. We could say Patrick Ewing. If you want to consider Patrick Ewing a superstar, we could sit there and say Karl Malone. I don't know if you call John Stockton a superstar, but you got to win or you got to be elite. Like Charles Barkley was elite for 15 years or however many years, 12 years before he retired. Maybe his last year in Houston, he was fat and out of shape. Reggie Miller, constant 14, 15 years, however many years, consistently killing. And Jalen Brunson's on that path. But I think that we're loosely, not you, I'm talking about as far as media is concerned, we're too loose with calling people superstars. What's LeBron James and Steph Curry?
I'm glad you said that. I agree with you. I 100% agree.
Like, what do you call, what is LeBron James and Steph Curry and KD if these niggas are superstars? This is what I'm trying to say. You use the term too loosely. I remember the term the GOAT was for the greatest of all time. Now everybody's a GOAT. How is it the greatest of all time if everybody's the greatest of all time? Now he's a GOAT. That's the GOAT. That's the GOAT. Oh, look at all these GOATs. Yo, you're defeating the purpose of them. You're defeating the meaning of you're defeating the definition of the meaning of the word. My nigga, it only should be one GOAT if it's the greatest of all time, not the greatest people of all time. And I just think that we use this word superstar too loosely. Sorry, Mason.
No, that's actually good because that clarifies what I was gonna say. Even when it comes to people like Spreewell, you would say Spreewell is a superstar. No,
He had a great couple of years. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying. It's like he made first team All NBA when Michael Jordan wasn't playing.
hmm
He never made it again. He made second and third probably, but it's only 1 year you was the best two guard in the country in the league, and the best two guard was playing baseball.
yeah. And sometimes people can't see that. That's why I was bringing up that conversation because to me, D Wade would have been a superstar. You know what I'm saying? He was somebody
Right,
consistently done it every
right,
year, always was up there, multiple championships, just until the end, never really declined.
right. Yeah,
You have to also consider all of this stuff comes in when social media came in, and unqualified people are giving opinions. And I'm talking about, before when you were a superstar, just the news came through certain news channels, certain newspapers, and there was like a consensus of people who named you a superstar. Now you can just doctor your shit up on the internet, look cool to a nigga, get a fan base, and they think that you're great. And that's kind of like what I think that we've merged into. And so if you're younger and you grow up, you didn't realize that your fame had to be earned by somebody else. Like now you can manufacture your fame in just mass different ways. And I think like all of that is what ends up blurring who's great, calling somebody greater than what they are, earlier than what they are, and it blurs perception. That's it.
And then just to clarify, Kim, so do you think that super teams do kill competition, or do you like it? Do you think it makes the league better?
it definitely kills competition. Like, I mean, when you sit there and think about it, I mean, it's dope when they don't win because you expect them to win. But when you put Kevin Durant on Golden State, you know what's going to happen. It's not even like a question of what's going to happen. Not this year. I'm talking about previously when he went. And I respect KD for that because he got his rings out the way and then he went on about his business. He's like, I'm not going to be one of them niggas that they say they didn't get a ring. Not only did he get a ring, he got the finals MVP. So it wasn't like he was some random eighth man off the bench just going chasing rings, kind of how like David West did towards the end of his career. No disrespect to David West, but niggas be wanting to get a ring before they retire. But see, the thing about it is this: when you say super teams, right? It's about if you drafted the people that you have. So, like, Sin whole argument with me used to be, yeah, Golden State over there with all them niggas. And I'm like, babe, the core three niggas were drafted there. You may have added Iguodala, Sean Livingston, pieces here and pieces there, but the core three niggas was drafted there. So now you got Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green. And then they be like, oh, they got a super team. Is that really a super team if they drafted everybody? Now, if you're trading for people like the Knicks get Jalen Brunson in free agency, you trade for Karl Anthony Towns, you bring in Mikal Bridges, you're building something that I get, and that's part of the NBA. You're building something. I'm not calling that a super team. But to me, to answer your question is that if it's homegrown, to me, I don't consider that a super team. I think that's a great job by the GMs who drafted them players and watched them develop to be superstars and all-stars and win championships. When you're trying to manufacture a team, like that works too. Like when you sit there and say, okay, we'll start with Boston, acquiring Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett, and then they win a championship. But that was the only championship they won. Kobe got Pau Gasol, and then they won two more. So you sitting there saying, damn, Kobe didn't have a big three. They did, but he ended up beating them twice, or once, pardon me. Then that's like you're building a super team. But to answer the question, if it's organic and you draft the primary players, I don't consider that a super team. I'd rather it be more level so we don't know who wins, to me.
Go ahead, Maurice.
No, he was bringing up another point, and it just makes me think of like, just because you even have these superstars or people with notable names doesn't mean like you just actually gonna go out here and win and whoop people's ass. that's just a different conversation we have. And sometimes I think we cheapen the conversation and call them super teams rather than saying, some guys with notable names. Because like at the end of the day, everybody's NBA players, and you've gotten all these people together to shuffle around teams or to build your roster. But just because you have guys with notable names don't mean you're about to win. You still have to take your ass out there, compete. Now you may have a favorable terms because you got better players, but you still got to go play, compete, and you're playing against professionals at the end of the day. And just like they may have legendary moments, they may have legendary defensive nights against you or, whatever it may be. But the thing that separates people is obviously consistency. So I just wanted to make that point.
Yeah, good point. And we've definitely seen that because even down to the Suns, like with KD, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, like there's a lot of things that we thought were going to be something and then things change. We're seeing that every day. So yeah, we will see. But great points from all of you guys. But that is all the time that we have for today. Maurice, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. Two Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.